Have you ever dated someone and you thought that they were absolutely perfect? It was this fairy tale like romance. And you're thinking to yourself, could it get any better? This person is coming in so hot and heavy. This is exactly what I want in a partner. This person's so sure about me. They're telling me everything I want to hear. They're telling me the perfect fairy tale of what our lives are going to look like. And then all of a sudden they become colder and colder. And you're like, wait a minute, what happened to that high energy when you were so sure about me? What happened to that person? Where are they at? You're holding on to this idea of that person who they were in the very beginning. And then they come back a little bit here and there. And you're like, okay, at least they're back, right? At least they're giving me this. Let's talk about what's actually going on here, because this is a pattern. This is a cycle that so many people can relate to. And you're not cautious about the signs that this is what's happening, then you're going to get stuck in this cycle every single time. Welcome back to another episode of Way Too Wifey. I'm your host, respectfully Gabby, and in this podcast, we talk all things dating, relationships, and of course, self-love and confidence. And if you are new here, hi, I'm Gabby. I'm an online dating and confidence coach where I help you transform your confidence to live your best lives inside and outside of a relationship. If you are tired of feeling stuck in situationships, not knowing where you stand, constantly in this pattern of getting in short-term flings, not sure how to get out, my 8-week transformation program may be exactly what you need. This program is specifically designed for those struggling with anxious attachment, low self-confidence, people-pleasing tendencies, and of course, the relationship self-sabotage. What makes this program unique is that it's backed by science-based strategies. With one-on-one direct support from me, we can help rewire and reframe your frame of thinking that are keeping you stuck so that you can break free and finally step into the best version of you and manifest the love that you truly desire. So if you're ready to start attracting better, go ahead and hit the link in my bio and book a discovery call with me. Also, if you've been watching this podcast for a while and you have not done so already, please hit that like, hit that subscribe button, turn on your bell notification so you'll never miss another episode. Leave that 5-star rating and share to a friend of someone that you think that this podcast might help out. Anyways, let's hop into the episode. I think the more and more people that I've dated, the emotionally unavailable people that I have attracted and the people that have those abandonment wounds, they have that fearful avoidant. This is a clear sign of a fearful avoidant when they're giving you that hot and cold energy. And one day they're on this high and they love you and they want everything with you and they see a future with you and they want to marry you. And then the other day they're not giving you any attention. It's cold. They don't like the thought of you. They don't want to be seen with you. It's like they're giving you like they've never liked you a day in their life. And you're like, I'm so confused. I don't understand where I stand. Let me just break down what's going on. This person is probably a fearful avoidant. I can just say that. This is a clear sign of it. But what that means is that they fall on the scale of both avoidant and anxious. So when they feel super, super close to you, they then start to panic and they're like, oh my God, I feel suffocated. I don't want anything to do with a relationship. This does not fit my lifestyle. I want to be single. I want to live the life that I want to live. On the other hand, they're like, but I do want a relationship. I do want, this person is treating me right. This person does have the things that I want. This person is a good person. Maybe I should give them a chance. And this is a constant battle in their brains. So if you've ever experienced someone where they're super hot, super cold, or maybe they're giving you 100% in the beginning. And if they're giving you 100% in the beginning, to me, now that's such a red flag, because I'm thinking to myself, if this person is giving me 1,000% in the beginning, I know that this is not going to be a sustainable relationship. I want them to build up to that 100% to where it makes sense of where we're at in the relationship. If they are constantly texting you, they're constantly in communication, they want to see you every day, they want to take you on dates all the time, they are just showing up for you consistently, they're solving your problems, they're being that guy that you've always wanted him to be, but then all of a sudden out of nowhere, he's pulling back his energy and you're like, wait a minute, did I do something wrong? Is something going on? You didn't do anything wrong necessarily. He has this battle in his head that he's constantly going back and forth with that it's confusing for him, and it's also confusing for you because you're on the other side of that. You don't know what's going on in his head. And truthfully, it doesn't actually matter what's going on in his head. He's shown you that he's inconsistent, and inconsistency gets dropped. If that person wants to show up in your life, it's going to have to be a consistent thing, because there should be no tolerance for anyone that wants to give you hot and cold energy, for someone that isn't sure about you one day and then is so sure about you the next day. It's like walking on eggshells, and quite frankly, it's going to leave you feeling pretty fucking anxious about the relationship. Inconsistency gets dropped. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. It's like, yes, but this person has the potential of being that 100%. But I can almost guarantee you, if that person gave you 100% in the beginning, that is just him showing up as the ideal version of himself. That's before all of the feelings and emotions were attached to it. Now that things are getting pretty serious, he's like, whoa, I was not expecting that. I was not expecting emotions to come along with this. And now that emotions are tied to this, it feels suffocating. I don't know how to react. I don't know how to respond. So I'm going to do what I've always done, which is withdraw my energy. And maybe he comes back at that 50%, and you're holding on to that 50% because you think that deep down there's potential to reach that 100% again. I'm going to tell you right now, there's absolutely no way that that man is going to reach that 100% unless you are willing to walk away completely. The only way that man will have his wake up call, he will actually think about the loss that's about to hit him, is when you're like, you know what? I'm not dealing with this consistency. It's not attractive. I deserve someone who's actually going to show up for me. And then the second that you're like, I'm not putting up with this, he's waking up to the fact, he's like, oh, this is someone that I can't play with. This is someone that I can't go back and forth with. Let me wake up. I'm either then going to drop this person completely because I can't level up to their standards, or I'm going to step in and actually make it work with this person. And I can almost guarantee you, if this man has not healed, he's never going to be the person that's going to show up to that 100% again. And that has absolutely no reflection on who you are as a person and what you bring to the table. It is not your responsibility either to prove yourself to this person. I think way too many of us get trapped in that. When you don't actually believe that you deserve a real love that's consistent, and you don't believe you're worthy of love, you are going to go on a quest to prove yourself worthy to someone else, to a man who's emotionally unavailable, to a man who doesn't get it and is never going to get it, until you come to your senses and wake up to the fact you don't need anyone else to validate the fact that you are worthy of love. Once you wake up to that, there's not going to be a question in your mind that, okay, this person's giving me inconsistency. Should I stay? Try to work this out? Is this something worth saving? Should I give him another chance? There's not going to be any question in your mind, because you know that deep down, this man has not healed. He's still dealing with his own thing, and you have better things to do with your time and your energy than to entertain a man who's not sure about you, period. Okay. So if he's giving you mixed signals, step away from it. Become nonchalant with him. You don't have the energy for it, and you're not going to give him any more of your energy. So if he's giving you mixed signals, like one day he wants you, one day he doesn't, he wants to play that game, then you're going to go cold. You're nonchalant now. No longer the same girl you were giving in the very beginning when he was at the 100. Once he pulls back his energy, you're gone. Sometimes I think it is normal to pull back a little bit from a relationship, to reassess and to take some time to reflect and see if this is something that you actually want. But that doesn't mean that he's not going to still be consistent. You shouldn't have to prove yourself. You shouldn't have to prove your love to anyone or anything, because the right person is not going to leave you feeling confused. They're not going to leave you feeling like you're stepping on eggshells. They're not going to leave you in this dark space. You don't know if this person has threatened to leave more than once. Leave them where they're at. I used to do this because I was so scared to get close. You have to protect your emotional well-being, because if you don't, if you're not looking out for your own emotional well-being, you have to think, what are you really holding on to? This person, you're holding on to that idea of who you thought this person was at the 100% when they were just putting on an act. No, they're never going to reach that level again. You know, I wanted someone to fight for me. I wanted someone to like actually show up. And I think that only bred really toxic relationships, because once I said, I'm leaving, I would want him to be like, I would want that person to fight for me and be like, no, stay. And then I would end up staying. But regardless of what that person would do, I would still end up staying. And I think that when you're saying, oh, I'm going to leave, and then you don't leave, your word is now shit. It's gone out the door. This person no longer trusts what you say. Maybe it's on a subconscious level, but I think the more that you threaten to leave and then don't actually end up leaving, you're damaging the relationship. Every fight that you get into, every argument that you get into, you're going to think, is this person just going to up and leave at any point? That could happen. And that's no place to be in a relationship. If you say that you are going to leave, you better not look back. Do not have any doubt in your mind that this is it. I am done 100%. I thought about this and I don't want to be in this relationship any longer. Then fine. That is the only time that when you say I'm about to walk away or I'm walking away, that you are certain and you are so sure in it. Because listen, your self-respect has to be louder than your feelings. It has to be bigger than your feelings. Because I have gotten myself into so many situations where my feelings were running the show. My feelings said on one hand, okay, I really like this man. This man is the love of my life. I swear our connection is the best. I'm never going to get any better. But my logical side, my standards, my self-respect is telling me on the other hand, but this guy's giving you the bare minimum. He's giving you that hot and cold energy. He's not showing up for you. He's barely taken you on a date, has yet to actually prove to you that he's worthy of the love that you want. So who am I going to believe here? Am I going to believe my self-respect, or am I going to go along with my feelings and let them run the show and let them run me into the ground because I don't know how to pick myself up? Your self-respect has to be louder than your feelings. And that's period. That's it. If the only thing you're going off of is your feelings are always going to change. Feelings are always going to feel up and down. You're always going to maybe like this person one day, maybe you don't like them as much the next day. But when you are letting your feelings run the show, you're getting yourself into long-term relationships. You're getting yourselves into marriages that aren't fulfilling and they do absolutely nothing for you. And then you get to this point where you are at your breaking point, whether that's a divorce, whether that's a breakup, whether that's, I cannot handle another situationship. I cannot handle this person treating me with a disrespect. Let yourself get to that point. But I can tell you that is so much more difficult to deal with than just being like, okay, I respect myself now. I'm no longer going to tolerate this and I'm going to move on with my life, because I know that leading with my feelings and my feelings alone is only going to lead me into a place where I'm confused. I don't feel respected, having to deal with those consequences of a breakup, of a divorce, of a whatever the case is. What's happening next? Is this person going to wake up and completely leave the whole relationship? If they're threatening to leave you on a consistent basis and then they're like, no, I'm just kidding, I would not do that, I wouldn't. To me, that's a huge red flag. With all that being said, that is it for this week's episode. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you got some kind of value out of it. And if you did, again, please hit that 5-star rating, hit that thumbs up, leave that comment. I love hearing from you guys. Send this to a friend if you think that it might help them. And yeah, I'll see you all next Tuesday.